that we're happy that finally there's activity that is being done to add value to coast as a destination, and particularly Mamangina area. Waterfronts in many destinations are serious and major attractions, but we have had a resource that has actually been lying idle for quite some time. We're happy that finally the ministry is putting into place the implementation of the blueprint, and actually that featured prominently in trying to add value and attractiveness to coast as a destination, because many times people don't just travel for the good hotels and good beds. People travel for many other things. So besides the beach itself, it is a welcome move that finally we are going to have other attractions and other things that people can do at a destination, and that simply means that people will be able to spend much more money, people will be able to spend more time out of the hotels, and that means that then the entire economy can actually harness and pick tourism dollars at different points. So besides the hotels, you'll be able to take a cab to Mamangina. There are many other businesses that are going to come around Mamangina, and in a big way, we're looking at actually transforming and adding value to the growth of this destination.
Apart from hotels, is it also going to trickle down to individual people, and maybe in which way? Because we also told that we're going to have souvenir shops that are going to be constructed there. These are mobile shops.
Definitely. We have had a challenge in the coast region in management of the beach trade. And the setting up of a location within Mamangina and the attraction itself, where then some of the goods that are traded, non-water-based goods that are normally traded on the beach, can then be traded in that particular place. And because it's going to be very iconic, we are going to support it in such a way that all hotels and all tour companies will in one way or another be required to pass by that particular place. And that means that then the local person or the local economy that thrives on selling curio and such kind of artifacts and memorabilia will be able to actually dispense them from that particular place. And that is also going to lessen the strain that we have had on everybody wanting to do beach trade on the beach itself, actually. Yeah.
Now, talking of the tourism results that have just been released, as players, is it a true reflection of what is on the ground?
We can generally say that this year last year was good, fairly good, because the numbers across the board, the numbers were actually very good. And statistically, it is being put at 2 million now. We've been able to just pass that mark. Our concern is that we're still performing below par. Coast region itself has around 35,000 beds. We barely reach 60% of that occupancy throughout the year. That is to say that as we celebrate marking the 2 million mark, we should be able, we realize the fact that we're still way below where we should actually be. The other concern that we have as stakeholders is that these numbers speak very well of the performance of the industry. But then there's the chef, there's the cook, there's the waiter. I've looked at the report that has actually been released by the minister. We need to be able to find a way of then supporting the other players who actually contribute these numbers, the tour guides, the people who work very hard to ensure that the visit experience is actually memorable and be able to come back. So these are some of the things that we want to see going forward actually being put emphasis on as we celebrate the numbers, but also diversify. There's so much that has happened in the region in the past 1 year. For example, the increase in the local airline has actually made it very possible for people to be able to access the coast region. The investment in SGR has actually brought in the numbers. And therefore, we're looking at probably a more focus on the domestic client and a more focus on the domestic market, because it's showing that there's a potential to be able to grow and actually advance that particular segment.
Yeah. Well, Abby, those are sentiments raised by, or concerns raised by some of the stakeholders from this tourism industry in the entire, of course, region. Back to you in studio.
Tobias Chanje, interesting reactions from industry players. And of course, we shall be definitely staying on top of